All right, we've got our Doctor Strange review. We got a big episode here. We have an audience. We've got Richard, we've got my girlfriend Sarah, and Simon is here. And we've got our first guest. We've got Marvel superfan Ethan Young.
Hi guys, how
How's
you
it
doing?
going?
I'm good. How are you?
You've seen this movie how many times?
I've seen it 3 times now.
Okay. All right, so Ethan's seen it 3 times. He's an expert on it. And we've also got some updates. Do you want to start with the first big one? There's a life update for Nico, and then there's
The only update I care to give is that we mentioned we were having scheduling conflicts, and all that consisted of was me going to California to get hand surgery for a day, and then I just kind of chilled there for a couple of days, and then I came back.
So Nico's in a lot of pain right now, so that's why he's grumpy. Are you
Not
on
at the
drugs right now?
I am. Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm
okay.
taking my prescribed
Alright.
OxyContin and ibuprofen.
This is how a drug problem starts.
It was prescribed.
Yeah.
I promise this is not illegal. This is not substance abuse. And yeah, that's it.
All right. So that's why Nico's not going to be acting like himself on
Nope,
this episode.
I will still be acting like myself. But that's why this review is coming 6 days after.
Yeah,
the movie
I
came
think it
out.
released. Yeah, maybe it was a full week.
It
but-
released
Was it May
May 6th?
Yeah. So it was a full week. But yeah, other than that, our other update is we're now on Apple Podcasts. You can just search Really Reviews. I think the link is in our link tree if you can find that. So if you prefer to listen on Apple Podcasts, we're on there now. And we're also on Spotify and YouTube still, if you want to do either of those. We have been sitting in this room now for like 30 minutes waiting to start because Nico had some homework to finish.
I'm sorry.
So there's that update.
Sorry, I'm very studious.
And we've also gotten some new ideas for the podcast from Richard.
What are our ideas? I still don't have ideas.
I think the idea is we become more active on TikTok, and I like this idea. Nico's been upset with me because I'm not carrying my weight on social media, which I get. I'm not, but like, I mean, look at me, right? I mean, like, look at me. I don't know how to use these things.
Look at me, Nick. I have one functioning hand at the moment.
Yeah, but I don't know how to be.
but
I'm illiterate when it comes to the social media stuff.
This is a certified J song moment where he just goes, yeah, but like
I do.
But
I
it's
have.
like, no, but it's like, but wait, no, but it's like
He has those mental blocks, and that's where I have this mental block when it comes to social media. I'm just incapable.
Is it fair to say that he has a mental block?
Yeah. He hits a wall, and he's he doesn't know how to continue the conversation. It's a glitch. It's a glitch in the J. Kuhn brain.
I don't know if it's fair to say that he's glitching, but
All right.
Okay.
Anyways, we finally
We'll
got
have
Nico's
him on
full
the
attention.
podcast
Yeah, we
at
should
some
have him
point.
on. We should.
and then he'll state his case.
We should watch that movie that he recommended to us. It's a Bong Joon-ho movie. We should watch that.
Yeah, I don't remember what it's called. Mysteries of Murder.
Yeah. Anyways, we're finally sitting down to do this. We finally got Nico's full attention.
Ethan is our first guest.
Ethan is our first guest.
I'm
He's
honored.
a big-time listener. I think he's our most deserved guest because he's listened to all of our episodes. Did you like our podcast?
I love your podcast. You guys are great.
Does everyone else in the room love our podcast?
Fucking shit.
I hope you can.
Don't listen to Richard.
But have you listened to any of them? Simon's listened to them. Do you like them?
I do.
Simon likes them. All right.
Sarah, from what I've heard, you don't listen to our podcast. Is this true?
I feel really put on the spot about that.
Yeah,
I
you
have-
are on the spot.
I
Nick told
actually
me
have listened
in
to
confidence.
Them. Some of the
Okay.
episodes.
Well, does
Okay.
Lise listen to them?
Yes and no.
Okay. Well,
Only when I ask her to.
Okay,
it's just kind of the
Yeah,
same thing.
I know. I'm just messing.
Did you
with
listen to our Star Wars one? I told you to listen to our Star Wars one.
You're not gonna like.
She
the Star
hasn't
Wars
listened to the Star Wars
one.
one.
You're not gonna like the Star
Well,
Wars.
I
one.
think she'd like it. I think it was good.
Why would I not like
Did
the
you
Star Wars one?
did you like A New Hope?
It's not even about the movie. I just think our podcast, our episode was
Oh,
good.
okay.
I do.
Yeah.
Well, do you care about our content matter, or like what we say about certain movies, or is it more just like, oh, my boyfriend's talking on his
Yeah,
podcast?
like,
I think this is fun.
Stupid story from my childhood. No, I like the content, but I definitely like listening to your guys' stories. Like, I liked when in Everything Everywhere All at Once, you guys like had the story that Lise like thought that it was about colleges.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
she's
Or,
probably
like,
not even getting picked up on the
universities.
mic right now.
So
if she
so,
is,
so Sarah said that she does listen to our content.
yeah,
She does listen also because it's Nick and Nico.
yeah. I mean, yeah,
That's kind of
it makes sense.
Yeah, kind of have to.
She also mentioned Everything Everywhere, which is one of the things that I do want to talk about today.
We
But-
will.
We've been going for 5 minutes now. I think we can get into the
Sure. Sure.
thing here. Into the movie.
Okay, Sarah,
Doctor
you're not on the hot
Strange.
seat anymore. It's
Yeah.
now Ethan.
Yeah, now Ethan's on the hot seat.
Give us the rundown. What is this movie?
If you had to describe it spoiler free, you've seen it 3 times. I think you're the best person to do this.
Okay, so this movie is about, like America Chavez.
Who is that?
Yeah, who is America? Was it
You're gonna have
Chavez?
to make me stop at every America Chavez is a superhero.
Is
Obviously,
she in the trailers?
she is.
Okay.
I mean,
don't
she's not
remember.
explained.
I didn't watch many of the
She's
trailers.
not explained, and you don't really see her powers at all. But you see glimpses of her. What comes to mind is the bus scene at the very start. You see her jump on
Okay.
Doctor Strange when she splits the bus.
So honestly, I don't think any of the other stuff about her powers are in the trailers.
No.
Though. All right, well then don't talk about that.
Yeah.
She
All
has
right.
powers.
Basically, the synopsis is Doctor Strange is going into the multiverse. That's
Yeah.
all that's spoiler free.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, the whole movie is just it's wild. It's a little wild. I will say that it's a little all over the place, and I think that's a good thing and a bad thing. But
Yeah.
what did
Okay.
you think?
Wait. Did we finish the rest of the thing, or are we just gonna stop with Doctor Strange goes in the multiverse?
I think that's all that you can say, right?
That's all I'm gonna
Honestly,
say.
yeah.
From the trailers, because everything else is plot. I mean, there's a lot of plot in this movie. I don't know if it was necessarily my favorite part of the movie though, but it was definitely it was moving. The pace was fast.
Yeah. I don't know. It was interesting. I mean, so are we talking about spoilers now?
No, I think
No?
I think we
Okay.
should let's just do a spoiler free pros and cons
Pros and cons?
Yeah. And then we'll give our score and then we'll just do a spoiler section and I think that'll probably get a little heated.
Okay, so
But-
so for pros, when I looked at you right after the film ended, or after one of the credits, I think, we were talking about how we liked that it was different from all the other Marvel films. It seemed a bit more horror-esque.
Yeah, and that's Sam Raimi's sort of background. You can see that in the Spider-Man movies he did. There's a lot of screaming women in this movie. There's just a lot of close-up shots of screaming women. That's a Sam Raimi thing.
Yeah, but when Mary Jane's falling from the building, what else are you going to show?
Her screaming.
Yeah,
See? See?
yeah, but it's it's what
But
he does.
I mean, there was a lot of scenes of kind of unnecessary women screaming.
Sure, in both Spider-Man and this, and I think a lot of jump scares too. Just a lot of horror elements. I mean, this is a sort of horror action blend. I think.
That's one of the things that I enjoyed about the movie.
You like that
Yeah.
about the movie?
Yeah, I mean,
So that's a pro for all of us.
I was cool with that. I wish that they would have stuck with one direction or the other a bit more, but it wasn't a bad thing.
Yeah.
It was good though. I'll stick with that.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, it's probably forced to fit into that, action CGI type stuff. But he did have creative freedom here, I think, because this movie did feel different than just a copy and paste, formulaic Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely points in the movie where you could see this was Sam Raimi and it wasn't just every other Marvel movie.
Yeah. I also just want to say Benedict Cumberbatch is great. I think
He is great.
He steals the show. I think he's super likable, and in any movie I've seen him in. So, or at least believable in the role. And I think he was a positive for me in this movie.
Did you like him better in this movie or the first one?
I liked him better in the first one, but I think the first one was a better movie, and we can talk about that maybe in spoilers and stuff too.
Okay.
Any other positives before we get into spoiler-free negatives?
I don't know. Ethan, do you have any positives?
I don't know. I mean, there were some parts where the CGI or whatever was kind of iffy, but I mean, I thought they did a great job of having his magic and showing off different spells and whatnot. So
I liked Wong.
Oh yeah, he was good.
I wanted to
everybody
mention Wong.
loves
Everybody likes
Yeah.
Wong, but I think Wong is always good.
He was
Yeah.
good. On the CGI thing, I was never I didn't think it was fantastic CGI, but it never took me out of it. I never noticed it being horrible And I think that in a movie that has this much CGI, I don't know. Did you notice it being horrible?
After
You've seen it
after
times.
3 times, I think you can notice.
Did it take you out of it at all? I mean, I don't have as good.
There were probably like a couple of scenes where I was just like, oh,
we can talk about it in spoilers, but if there's a couple of scenes, yeah. I mean, it wasn't perfect CGI, but it also was not the worst. Even for a Marvel movie, I don't think.
No,
Yeah,
I think, without trying to spoil it, some of it just seemed like a bit too goofy, like a bit too comic book-y to like try to put it into words, which we can explain more, because if I say it now, it just kind of avoids what we said initially to not spoil it, but that's all.
Yeah, okay.
They did well on the CGI.
Yeah, all right.
I still think CGI was better from the first film.
Cons, I think it was like a little too much just over explaining, and that lost me a little bit. That was my number one thing. I think I got a little bit like tired of the constant like multiverse explanation stuff. And like I think some of the ideas were cool, but like it just felt like a lot of stuff was left unexplained, but then they were over explaining some stuff, and I can't get into like specifics of that until we talk about spoilers, but like I don't know. That was my main thing. The plot just got a little boring because it was so like it was just a lot. I don't know. That's what I thought.
I mean, there's a lot of new elements and stuff originally from the comics that needed to be explained that viewers that hadn't read the comics wouldn't know about, and
I didn't know about.
Yeah, and so it does kind of need to give a brief explanation, because they can't just go into like a deep explanation of it, because then you'll lose the viewer.
Yeah.
And so then they just decide to go with a quick explanation, but then that also loses the viewer, because then they don't understand what it means.
What do you think?
There was some licensing issues with this movie that I learned. The like big meatball looking green thing at the beginning.
Yes.
He's actually like some super important thing in some of the comics, and
you are correct.
And he was just like not very villainous in this film. He was just kind of gone with it.
I don't know if that's a spoiler, so I don't
it's
know
not
if
really.
I should
I don't think it's
explain
much of a spoiler. It's
like very.
It's
first
on
5
their
minutes.
Lego sets. It's in the first 5 minutes. It's in their trailers. It's.
Yeah, I think that's in the trailers, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it is. So.
I mean, do you want me to give a quick explanation of him?
Let's just do it. I don't even know if that's necessary.
Okay.
We don't.
Yeah, but basically,
I
just remember reading about how it's like in the comics it is originally an important villain, but he was just not used at all in this film.
Okay.
Yeah, he's an important, like, powerful villain, and basically, he just...
they just watered him down.
Yeah.
That's a great way of putting it.
Okay. So, but what did you think of the plot in general? Like, was that a negative? Yeah.
The plot was stupid. No matter what anybody tells me, this plot was stupid.
And we can't really get into... I don't think we can get into why without spoiling it, so we could just get into spoilers.
I will say, I think the plot was, like, just about as bad as No Way Home.
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. And the positives didn't come close to outweighing the negatives.
I agree with that. I think also some of the characters were just, for me, really underdeveloped. Like, I didn't care about some of the relationships. Like, I think the important relationships and important characters, and I'll get into who they were when we get into spoilers, but, like, some of the important relationships, I just didn't care.
Okay.
Like, that's how I felt, but...
Yeah, there's one I can sort of think of right now.
But yeah, I think that's...
The movie's not terrible. I'm not going to say it's terrible.
I don't think I loved it. It wasn't the worst thing I've ever seen. It wasn't great, but it wasn't terrible. Like,
right, this doesn't dethrone Morbius for either of us.
Not even close, no. Not even close.
This certainly is not that bad.
It still kept me entertained for most of the time, and so that's miles better than Morbius.
Yes. No, Morbius was entertaining. But that was because
But in a bad way.
Yeah, in a bad way.
All right. Do you want to give your score first, Nico?
No.
You don't want to? All right, I can give mine first.
You guys go first.
I'm going to give this a 6.3. Ethan made a grimace.
Why are you about to shriek?
Ethan made a great... I guarantee you Nico's going to go lower.
Wow.
But why don't you do yours first, so then you can grimace even harder when Nico shits on it.
I'm going to give it a score of 8.2.
8.2?
Okay.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Ethan, what are you smoking? That was so bad.
Well, what's your score?
Like a 5-4.
Wow.
5-4 from Nico.
I thought the plot was so bad.
Yeah.
Well, explain it. Like the plot was, to me, the plot stunk so much that I just couldn't look past it.
Before we start, can we get everyone in the room scores?
Yeah. Do we want? Should we write everybody else's scores?
We can.
You don't want to give it a score?
Does Richard want to give it a score at least? Richard, give it a score. Say it in the mic.
Same as mine?
Yeah.
5-4. All right, 5-4 from Rich. Sarah doesn't want to give a score. Don't wait. Be careful.
Just kill Ethan with the cord.
I'll give it a 6.
You'll give it a 6? All right.
Simon gives it a 6. Sarah thought it was so bad she didn't give it a score. And Richard,
wow,
5-4
so this
also.
is Sarah's Morbius.
Okay. All right, those are our scores. Why an 8-2? That's that. I guess.
Wait.
Yeah.
Are we getting into spoilers? Are we getting into spoilers?
Yeah, but I first want to ask
my explanation won't spoil it. I give it an 8.2 because it has a possibility of setting up future projects.
Okay, but why are you giving it that's a possibility?
That's a factor of my score.
That's a factor of your score?
Yeah.
That's not a factor of my score. I want to look at these movies all as individual movies. I want to give them the fresh look out of the, as its own picture. But I don't know. You just
okay. I mean, if I'm not factoring in like future projects, I'd probably lower it down a few decimals, like 7.8 or 7.7.
Okay. How does this like stand alone though compared to like other Marvel movies for you? Like, where is the floor for a Marvel movie? What's the worst Marvel movie you've ever seen?
The worst? Well, the worst.
Morbius.
I mean, I've seen all of them.
Have you seen Morbius?
I have not.
Yeah,
but
I don't recommend.
I know what happens, and I've seen.
No, you don't know what happens.
I listen to your episodes. I do know what happens.
Baby, you gotta go watch it.
I mean, it wasn't really worth a watch, according to you guys.
But I think everybody should watch it, honestly, just so you can.
I disagree with that completely. No one should watch it.
What a bad movie is, go watch it.
No, it's not even bad that it's good. It's just bad. Like it's not even fun to watch. There's no reason to go see Morbius.
That's why I'm saying go watch it. You'll understand what a bad movie is.
Don't go see Morbius. What is the worst MCU? You can keep that Disney. What's the worst Disney MCU movie you've seen?
Like, the worst I've ever seen is either Thor 2 or probably Eternals.
Which one was Thor 2?
Thor 2 is Thor the Dark World.
Okay. I didn't see it.
Okay. So, is this like in the upper half of Marvel movies for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is the 28th movie of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
And you've seen all 28?
Yeah. I would say this is definitely top 14. Morbius is part of it. No,
it's in the
not.
multiverse.
All right. Nico makes a good point. It is
in the multiverse.
What?
I know you disagree, and you're like, "Oh, Sony's doing all that. That's their shit."
They brought in the characters.
Yeah, they're
They're
bringing in Disney MCU characters, so they're kind of merging the thing. Marvel has its name on the movie, so like it is. They're still branding this and marketing it as a Marvel movie.
It's different people leading the movie setup. Like, I don't know.
I don't think that gives it a pass though, because when they're marketing it to the casual people, they don't know that Kevin Feige's not behind it.
Just see the production.
That's like the new Star Wars.
The production.
That's like saying the last 3 Star Wars films. They're not from the original cast and crew, so it's like it's not really Star Wars.
My parents don't know who Kevin Feige is, and they never will. But they'll be watching like the news or something, and they'll see they'll see a Morbius trailer, and they'll see the Marvel thing on it, and they'll be like, oh, a new Marvel movie,
Yeah, that's
might go see it. Like they will know the name of the movie, but they might not hear about everything everywhere unless I tell them,
Yeah.
So that's all
true.
I'm saying. Like, I think it is sort of lumped into it, just like with brand name alone.
Yeah.
But then so was No Way Home canon to Marvel?
Yes, because
Morbius should be canon.
Sony and Disney have a contract that allows Spider-Man to be a part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Yes, but you just stated my point exactly. That makes it canon.
That's only for Spider-Man. They don't have...
And all of his entities.
No.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
No.
Yeah, they have Venom. Venom is part of it.
But it's
Yeah,
not
Venom
part.
showed up in.
That's not part of the contract. The contract is that Spider-Man exists in the Marvel.
But no one
Cinematic
knows about the
Universe.
contract.
Yeah, no one cares
all
about
they,
the contract.
All they know is what they see on screen. Like, most people aren't paying attention to the credits like we are. That's my point.
Yeah.
Like, they just see the Marvel brand on it.
I mean, but
even then,
if people...
Morbius had elements where they were mentioning the blip and all of that shit.
Yeah,
so, like,
they did.
It's
They
all
talked
canon.
about-
That
they
means
talked
it's all
about it,
part
yeah.
of the same universe.
So there's some contract that's sharing of, like, universe here.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that contract.
Yes.
All right. Anyway, we talked about Morbius too much. Let's get into spoilers of this movie. I'll just give a quick overview of the plot because I know way less than Ethan about everything else around it, so I think I can go through it a little quicker.
Yeah.
America Chavez, who is a character that I had no clue existed, is, like, established in the first scene of this movie. She's, like, the only being that can walk across multiverses, okay? And they're
There's
trying
only
to
one
protect
multiverse.
her. Okay, fine.
A
Walk
The
universe.
across
multiverse is multiple
Whatever,
universes.
Whatever. Yes.
You know what I mean? Walk across the
multiverse.
universe. Yes, the universes. Okay. So, all right, Ethan's getting upset at me, and I'm already butchering this. So, Doctor Strange is protecting her for some reason because someone is chasing her, which you learn then is Scarlet Witch, who just turned evil for some reason, which I had no clue why, and I didn't see that coming. Just seeing the other Marvel movies, I had no clue why. But she wants to get to another multiverse where her kids are alive that aren't even real kids, apparently. And so she wants to get to them, and Doctor Strange is trying to stop her from doing that because it's just going to create a mess in the multiverse. And then they do stop her in the end, or she finally realizes the error of her ways and destroys the, like, technology that she was using to do this. That's my quick synopsis. You think I did a good job?
Yeah.
It's the spirit
job.
book, not technology.
Okay, spirit book, whatever. It kind of has a lot of, like, it's just stupid stuff happening for no reason. That's kind of what I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
America Chavez is being chased throughout the multiverse, and she finally enlists the help of Doctor Strange in order to help protect her.
I don't care about America Chavez at all.
Well,
I do not give a shit about
in
her.
future projects, you're probably gonna see
not
her.
They
gonna
did.
watch
Well, they
most
did
of
nothing
those
to
future
establish.
projects.
They did nothing to. Well, I think we're gonna have to, but they did nothing to establish her character here. There's nothing.
Yeah, they didn't have any background.
Yeah,
the only
she
background was that she saw a bee and that killed her parents.
She's just this teenager.
That's a terrible
yeah.
explanation.
no, that's actually what
No,
happened.
that is. She kills her parents
Yeah.
by sending them to
That's
the...
a terrible
No, okay,
explanation.
Ethan.
She
She gets to see her background, right? She gets to see
Yeah,
her background.
yeah.
I don't know how she paid. They didn't even pay. They said that you have to pay for it.
Yeah,
They didn't pay.
It was like a free
She's
trial.
a thief. You know,
No.
she's a thief. She says she's going
Yeah.
around stealing food.
Yeah.
She's like, oh, you know, it's free in all the other worlds. Like,
And it wasn't free in this
yeah,
one.
yeah.
Fucking
I don't.
bitch.
She just steals.
Okay,
She's just
anyway.
a thieving child.
Ethan, they said you can look back at your history, right?
Yeah.
That was the only thing they showed.
Yeah.
And it was literally that she saw a bee on her hand, and she was like, oh my god, it's a bee!
In
and
this
then the
movie.
star-shaped portal that they just cookie-cut, shaped out in the air,
Yeah.
her parents just died in a vacuum.
She makes stars instead of circles. She's special because she makes stars. 'cause her
Which I
name's
mentioned
America.
to Nick, I was like, that's stupid. He's like, well, it's a circle. But I said, circles are organic shapes. Stars look fucking stupid.
Okay, I mean, it's a superhero movie. I don't care.
No,
but
that looked like Adobe After Effects.
I mean, okay.
They looked stupid. And it didn't make any sense. That was her only backstory.
No, it was. Nico's right. In this movie, both of us knowing nothing about that character and not watching any of the shows. Well, I didn't watch any of the shows. She didn't appear in any of the shows.
No.
I
This
didn't
is her
care.
first MCU appearance.
I didn't care about her. Like, even her parents, like, they're just like, oh, they're gone. Tough. Like, I don't care.
But you can't say that they're dead. All they did was go through the portal.
Well, that's what they said in the movie. But it's like, I don't think they're ever going to hire those actors again for another Marvel film. Maybe they do. And it's just like another,
They might.
America, we love you.
Yeah, then
But,
they
like,
might do something like that.
I don't see them.
I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if
They
if
turn back
she's
into
in like a
Thanos.
solo.
Does she have a superhero name, or is her name just America Chavez?
It's Miss America.
It's Miss America.
Oh, that's epic. That's something our friend group we would name each other. We'd be like, yo, it's Mr. Richard. If we had to come up with superhero names.
Yeah, okay. Miss America, whatever. She was just, I didn't give a shit about her, and she wasn't well developed.
Mordo. They never mentioned him being angry.
Oh, yeah. So Mordo, who's also kind of
An
somewhat
antagonist.
sizable
Super-
character,
Okay,
antagonist.
but you have to point out that we didn't see the MCU's Mordo at all. We only saw 838's Mordo.
True, but they talk about the MCU's Mordo a lot.
Yeah.
But it made no sense
Mordo,
because
all of it's the MCU.
Yeah, okay,
bitch.
okay. See, Ethan, you got that wrong. It's all MCU. No,
Yeah, dumbass.
just kidding.
They didn't say anything about that in any of the other
the Mordo,
features.
yeah, the Mordo from Doctor Strange 1 did not seem as aggressive as they were talking about him being in this movie.
I mean, well,
he said it's his life goal to kill me now, and I was like, when did this?
Yeah, I don't remember that movie having that.
That movie came out in 2016, which means he's been existing for.
So he's just this murderer that's been murdering, like trying to murder Doctor Strange this whole time, and nobody knew about it.
Okay, he hasn't really been like going to murder Doctor Strange, but
that's the way they talked about it in this movie.
He said at the end of the first Doctor Strange, he said no more sorcerers, which means he's probably going after.
He just looked like he was throwing a temper tantrum. I watched it earlier today. He just storms off like a toddler. Like he didn't do anything about it.
What do you mean?
He didn't do anything about it. In the original Doctor Strange, he just walks away and he's like, no more, and then he walks away.
Did you not watch the post-credit or mid-credit scene?
I didn't watch the post-credit.
Okay, so he goes after.
How do you remember the post-credit scenes from every movie, Ethan?
Because I just watched it again last week.
Wait, what happens in the post-credits?
He goes after one of the guys that you see in the start of the movie who's using magic to make himself not paralyzed anymore. So Mordo goes to his workshop and steals his magic.
He doesn't kill him.
No, he
so
just wants less sorcerers.
All right. The only instance of Mordo being this like weirdo murderer is in one after credit scene.
Yes.
Okay.
But he doesn't murder anybody.
I
agree
agree
that kind of a big plot twist in this movie.
I agree that he should have been talked about more. I mean, I guess that's another con because I mean, you're right. He's just supposedly been going around murdering / stealing people's magic, and Doctor Strange hasn't done anything about it. It's like that needs to be addressed in either specifically in a movie or show.
Well, not now. It should have been.
It should have been.
You're right.
And sort of on that, I think that was one of the biggest cons, if not the biggest con for me in this movie. Like, I hadn't watched any of the shows. I've seen the movies. I watched the original Doctor Strange, but there was stuff like that and like the Wanda stuff. I just was like, sort of, I don't know. I felt left out.
I watched it. It was garbage. It didn't aid anything to this.
Yeah, WandaVision might have been okay on its own.
You must have been watching the wrong show.
Yeah, okay, WandaVision.
Yeah, I was watching the wrong show.
No, you told me you liked WandaVision the show. I'm just saying.
To an extent, I liked what they did. The first few episodes, they changed the decades. They changed some filters on the actual show itself. It looked cool.
Yeah.
But besides that, the story didn't make any sense.
Well, I didn't know anything like
it didn't aid to this.
It didn't aid it, but like it did set it up for this and like where Wanda is now and what her motivations are. And I didn't know those going in because I didn't watch the movie.
Not everyone's watching that. That's the problem.
Yeah, I think like that was one of the big things for this. Like Marvel's trying to combine too much together and set up for too much other stuff. Like these movies aren't standing on their own anymore. Like Iron Man or like
even the
original Doctor Strange or like I really liked Ant-Man. Like I thought those movies all stand on their own.
Yeah.
This one just did not stand on its own. Like you had to have all this background knowledge and at least seen like at least a few of the movies and the shows because they reference them a lot. So the experience is definitely worse for someone who hasn't seen all those things.
I would agree with that. I mean, I think originally they were trying to have it, have each movie be standalone and you like wouldn't have to watch the shows. But I would 100% agree with you that you kind of have to watch WandaVision or at least know a little bit about it to be able to understand what Wanda's motivations are.
Her motivations were that she wanted to protect and be around her kids.
Yeah, they were very thin. The motivations
didn't
were
even
pretty thin.
exist. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it was a little thin. It was
how could she never meet these people and have such a strong attachment to them?
Thanos had a much better motivation for being evil.
Well, yeah, but Thanos was the culmination over like 10 years. I mean, he was the big bad for everybody.
And I think they did a really good job with him.
But she had her own TV series.
Okay.
And it didn't explain anything. It still didn't make any sense. And she was in multiple movies.
For this movie, her motivations did not make sense.
That's what I was saying. I think this was the same as No Way Home. Peter Parker and his friends can't get into MIT, and then they're just like, Doctor Strange, please help us. And then they just like almost kill everyone in the multiverse.
I think even that's better because you can it's more of a clear like, damn, I want to fix this.
But this didn't make sense.
You're
She was
just
hysterical.
you're just like watering down like the plot of
That's what happened
of all these
here.
movies, and
Ethan,
it's like
that's what happened in this film.
This movie
you're
it wasn't
leaving out a
strong
lot
plot.
of details. Like,
Okay, what are the details?
well, I don't want to explain them
would've
all.
made,
Like,
okay, what would have made just specifically for the scope of this movie,
For the scope of this movie.
Scarlet Witch's motivations? What would have made those better? What information would have made that better?
so Vision dies in Infinity War, and so she
doesn't miss him though. She just misses these kids.
Well, she does, and
Yeah,
then
and then
and
she
then he
yells,
dies
"I
again,
shot
and she
my
kind of
husband
like
through the
well,
head."
that's kind of another con of this movie is Vision just like isn't mentioned at all.
He's mentioned a little bit, but not enough.
Well, yeah, I mean he's mentioned once at like the beginning
That's
of the movie.
something I would have known about because I would have at least seen the other movies that Vision was in.
Yeah, but basically she animates Vision and she makes up these kids, and eventually at the end of the show loses them, and so she has like separation from them and wants them back, and uses the Darkhold, which is a bad magic book.
Yeah, it's
and,
the whole bad
and tries to
magic
get them
movie.
back through going through the multiverse.
Yeah, that's her motivation, and that felt a little thin to me.
Interesting. Okay.
Ethan, why is that interesting? She hadn't met these
Because
kids.
I gave you her motivation.
but, like,
and
She
it's like,
never gave birth to these kids. She never met them. She just thought of them. And
Yeah.
that was enough for her to go and kill a bunch of people?
Yeah, she does a big 180
But
from
she
from
slaughtered
who
the
her character
whole-
is in the other movies.
they
There's a
only
huge 180.
don't exist in this universe. They exist in every other universe.
Okay,
so she
so-
can go to any other universe and they'll be real.
But the Scarlet Witch that I watched in the other Marvel movies did
Yeah.
not act this irrationally.
No.
That's because she's
That's the problem
a good
with
guy.
these recent films.
Yeah, why did she just turn into a bad? Like that's the thing.
Because she was holding the Darkhold. The Darkhold corrupts the user.
I don't remember her getting
See,
the
okay,
Darkhold.
but that's the other thing. The movie did not explain that well. The
When
fact
did-
that you have to
It
explain
did
that.
explain that.
When did she get the Darkhold, Ethan?
She got the Darkhold at the end of WandaVision.
Why should I have had to watch WandaVision? And see, that was a hole for me because I don't know
Okay,
about this
but-
I
Darkhold
watched
thing.
it and I don't remember her getting
Okay,
it.
she reveals it in the farm scene. She reveals that she has it.
Okay.
There's a floating book there.
Is
and
the
then,
farm scene in this movie or in WandaVision?
Yeah.
No,
it was-
in the movie when
Okay.
Doctor
Remember when
Strange goes to
Strange comes
recruit
to
her
her?
help to
Oh, yeah.
protect America.
No, okay, I remember that. But
And then
okay,
she just goes, I'm going to kill America,
yeah,
Chavez.
I'll say this. They did not emphasize it enough for me to be like, this whole little book is making her just go off the rails.
Yeah.
Because she does. She just starts killing people for no reason.
Well, she's trying to
be with the kids that don't
for not
exist.
no reason.
Yeah,
She's
okay.
trying to get to America Chavez, and everybody is standing in her way.
My other con, which I said I didn't really care about it. Like I cared more about it in the first movie. What's her name? What's the nurse's name? Someone help me out.
Christine Palmer,
All right, Christine.
played by Rachel McAdams.
Okay.
Christine.
I didn't
She had
care.
no love interest in
I
this
didn't
film.
care about the chemistry between Doctor Strange and Christine. I just didn't care.
It wasn't good.
I thought I liked where the last movie left it off because I watched that earlier today and I liked where they left it off there. And then they brought it back for this for some reason and like I don't know. It just didn't click for me at all. And I think maybe I was supposed to feel more of that and I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think they were trying to develop it too much because, at the end, they're cutting it off.
But then
Because
why
they
did
have to go back to their separate universes.
But then why
but-
did they include it in like the beginning of the film?
Because that
If they
was
weren't gonna-
his universe's Christine.
Yeah, but then if they weren't going to build on it, why would they bother
They
including
just didn't build well on it at
no,
all.
They were trying to show that he still had feelings for her, so that later in the movie, when he sees another Christine, he's
Yeah, okay. The
kind of
keyword
able
there
to
is
build.
trying. For me, that did not land.
Okay.
They did that for me. They did not successfully get that relationship right. Like I just didn't care about it. I don't know. Did you care about it, Ethan?
I mean, it wasn't perfect, but I mean, I know what they were trying to do.
Like think about Tony Stark and
Pepper
Pepper Potts.
Yeah. Which one did you care more about? Significantly more that one.
Okay,
than
yeah.
this, right?
But again, they had multiple movies too.
Okay, then give me Gwen Stacy and Andrew Garfield in Spider-Man. I felt
Even
more.
that,
Okay,
yeah,
now
I
you're
agree.
just
See?
like flipping.
No, I'm just showing you.
No,
you can bring
the
up.
Marvel universe has done these types of relationships better than this, and I think the only reason I like this is because the actors were likable.
Yeah, I mean, because in the first Doctor Strange movie, you get Stephen Strange and Christine Palmer, But then at the end of the movie, they're like kind of left off, whatever. And then at the beginning of this movie, she gets married.
Yeah.
So then their relationship is cut off.
Leave it there.
So then he goes and finds another Christine, and he's like, maybe I'll get it with this one.
And then she says, nope.
Yeah, and then she says no. Which is the right answer.
So he can't really build on that previous relationship. He has to establish a new one.
I didn't even feel for him though, if you know what I mean. Like I didn't even care about his
love
well,
life, personal
then you're
life.
you're just a soulless,
Yeah, you're
loveless
just
person.
I just don't think they set it up well.
Okay, wait. When did you want to cut this off?
We can go for another like 5 to 8 minutes.
Okay. So then you and me here, right?
Yeah.
Multiverse of Madness, and then let's compare it to another multiverse film.
Okay, before we do that, I want to bring up one more thing from this movie because I think we have time for it.
Sure.
The little cameo of the Illuminati. Ethan, is this a really important? Like, keep it brief. Is this a really important thing with the
not
Marvel
like,
comics?
It's not like super important. It's just the Illuminati is a team of like the smartest people on Earth. Who come together
they got just destroyed
to
make
minutes. Really tough decisions.
Not even 10 minutes, Nate.
Yeah, it wasn't even 10 minutes. They got just destroyed by Scarlet Witch in 10 minutes.
They got decimated.
John Krasinski, stretchy John Krasinski is in here, and he just gets killed.
That could be cool, though. He could be good.
He's a good actor,
for a future, what is it? Fantastic
Four. I'll give it a shot with Fantastic Four. But they make a cameo here. I think that was hinted at in the trailers or after credits or something.
Professor X?
The Professor X was hinted at, so the people were guessing the Illuminati, right?
Yeah. Well, no. The Illuminati was confirmed in one of the trailers because you hear Mordo say the Illuminati will see you now.
Yeah, so I thought that the whole cameo thing was a little underwhelming. I think it was a little underwhelming. Like,
I mean, so you have Patrick Stewart come back as Charles Xavier.
Yeah.
Black Bolt is played by Anson Mount, who played Black Bolt.
Okay, we don't need all the actors.
Okay, it's just significant because
Patrick Stewart we can name.
Patrick Stewart comes back. Anson Mount comes back as Black Bolt, who played Black Bolt in the Inhuman show. And then you have, John Krasinski come and play Mr. Fantastic for the first
Also,
time.
I mentioned to you in the car at home, like the Captain Marvel on the Illuminati was just weak.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, they severely underplayed
easily
these characters.
Yeah.
All of them.
So that's why it didn't land for me. Like, it didn't feel as significant as I think it was supposed to.
And it's,
You mean like they just didn't feel like they were powerful or anything?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were kind of...
Yeah, I don't know if they're going to bring that back in the future.
Well, did you like how they turned John Krasinski into Play-Doh?
Yeah. That was pretty cool.
I thought all the ways that she killed each member was pretty cool. I liked when she blew up Black Bolt's brain. That was funny.
I guess.
It
was kind of...
I guess I'm the only one.
It was kind of grotesque, but yeah.
It was a little gross. The dude's just brain exploded inside his own head.
Yeah, and then his head turned mushy, and then he just fell on the ground. It looked weird. I don't know.
No, and they shot it like a horror sequence, too.
Yeah.
They zoomed in on him and everything.
Yeah.
I thought it was interesting. I don't know if it was funny.
I mean, it wasn't...
I definitely thought the Play-Doh was way better.
The Play-Doh was funnier. I
found more entertainment in that one. Or Captain Carter, when they just, throw the shield right through her.
Okay, yeah.
Slice her in half. I don't even know if she would have died from that. I mean, probably blood loss.
Yeah. So, yeah.
All right.
Darth Maul didn't die when he got split.
That's Star Wars.
Back to what we were talking about. Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness, and Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
Go see Everything Everywhere.
Yeah.
It stands on its own 2 feet. So much
I think
better
they see this film. They also did the drawing upon the multiverse variants of themselves to kind of play through scenarios. I think they did that better in that film too.
They did. That wasn't like a weakness of this. I actually thought it was okay in this movie.
No, it
was
fine,
better.
But there was no
cooler.
difference.
Yeah.
I thought a difference between the Doctor Stranges would be cool. They were all the same.
Yeah.
The only difference was their skin being one was a zombie and the other one was alive.
Yeah.
And maybe the color of their robe.
That's true. I think it was much more interesting in
Everything
in a sci-fi way too, and in Everything Everywhere. So if you haven't seen that movie, go see it. We both really, really recommend it. I think that's one of the best movies I've seen this year, if not the best movie I've seen this year that's released. So
yeah, I can get behind that.
Yeah, I would say Everything Everywhere, definitely recommend it. Ethan, you haven't seen that.
I do want to see it, though.
I think you'd really like it.
Yeah.
If you go see it in theaters, if it's still in theater or on streaming, I recommend it to anybody.
Yeah, no, I definitely want to see it. It sounds good.
I do want to clarify, we kind of did shit on this movie a lot.
That's true.
I can't speak for Nico. I still want to give all these movies a chance. I'm still looking forward to the Thor movie. I like the director. and I think Chris Hemsworth is cool. Okay. So I'm still looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's great. But like, do they all have to build off of themselves to make 4 other films?
That's a good point. I mean, what do you think about that?
It's fucking annoying.
So like, I don't think like Doctor Strange built off a little bit of Spider-Man because Doctor Strange was in it. It's like I don't think Thor is really gonna build off of, at least to my knowledge right now, I don't think Thor is going to build off of Doctor Strange, for instance.
Looking outside of that even.
But
just
then
the universe as a whole.
Like, yeah, you mentioned like America Chavez is probably going to get like a big role too.
Yeah, like do you like the direction that they're going? Because for me, it's kind of taken me out of it. Everything after the like Infinity War stuff, I was kind of just like, I'm tired of this. Like I'm tired of them just building on each other. Like I need some more
cameo.
Yeah, a bunch of cameo spamming. Like I need some more original stuff.
They started the cameo spamming, and they did Spider-Man, which spoiler, had Toby and Andrew come back.
Yeah.
And this movie had Patrick Stewart and everybody else, and so it's kind of like the cameos are really like hurting it because the next movie it probably won't have a cameo, and so it's just gonna be like.
But every movie has had a cameo. Like
a lot of them have since like the pre-Infinity War stuff. I feel like most of these movies have just been having cameos to set up other movies.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
Like they bring Nick Fury into all of them to show.
I don't think that's terrible.
No,
like little stuff like that. The way they used to do it didn't bother me. But
now everybody's working together. Everybody's teaming up. I think Civil War was like the first one that I really noticed. Oh, okay. So all of these are
sure, but even that I could be okay with because it was a culmination of like the decade of movies before that, which all did stand on their own and were good on their own.
And
like,
I mean, sure, that's
good character movies.
And Civil War was different. That was the first time I think anybody's seen their favorite superheroes go beat the shit out of each other. But like, I don't know. After that, every movie, everyone's teaming up. Everybody's working together. Everybody's doing this. Everybody's doing that. Everybody's high-fiving. Everybody's...
I just think that alienates a more casual fan. I mean, these movies are always going to sell well to kids, and they're always going to sell well to fans, and they have built up a great fan base. But like, someone who isn't as invested in all of the shows, especially now, because they're expanding to that. Like,
yeah.
I don't know. I don't personally love the direction that the MCU is going.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they should definitely try to, not alienate people by, making them watch the shows because not everybody has Disney Plus, which is where they're streaming. But I think that if the movies don't build on each other and it doesn't look like it's going somewhere, then I don't think people will be excited because everybody saw what happened with the movies that culminated to Endgame, and everybody loved that, or most everybody loved that, and so I think people want to see that happen again, maybe. But that's really far down the line.
I liked Infinity War better.
Nico's shaking his head.
I think Infinity War is better than Endgame.
Sure, but I don't think Endgame was bad.
No, it wasn't bad, but I just liked Infinity War better. I thought Endgame was really more of a time travel movie than, just get into all the punches and shit.
Yeah.
I just think that there could be a benefit to like a break or a reset of some kind.
Here's what I would say to this, because if you have the world always being in constant fear and like the world's about to end in every single movie, okay, so what? It's a regular Tuesday at that point.
Yeah. The gravity of these situations definitely
it's been watered down, and you can't fix it at this point unless if you just did a full reboot, which they're going to. How many years down the line? I have no idea.
Honestly, I'm ready for that now.
Yeah, but they're not going to. They already have Phase 4. They're going to make Phase 5.
No, they're not. Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, if they stopped having the world end every single time, that'd be a nice change of pace.
Yeah. Yeah, why can't, like, some villain just be, like, stealing stuff from a supermarket or something? That would be a good change of pace.
Because why would Iron Man show up to a supermarket?
Spider-Man would do that.
What is the police
My
do?
Spider-Man would do that.
That's what all the comics were based off of. They
started
with...
If we see a villain like
in Spider-Man Homecoming, he showed up to 4 robbers at an ATM bank.
Okay, good.
And they were all dressed as the Avengers.
He needs to help more grandmothers who get stuff taken from them.
But that's what Spider-Man is.
Ethan,
it's Spider-Man. A friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
That's how all of them started. They all started with petty crime, and then they got up to the mob bosses and shit. Like that's
the character building that I liked in like Phase 1 through 3.
So they can't go back to...
But they're introducing new characters,
Yeah.
Make me care about them.
Deadpool.
That's what I'm saying. Make me care about them. Deadpool was great. Make me care about them. You know?
Yeah.
Make me care about America Chavez. They did not make me care about her in this movie. And this is kind of was just an America Chavez movie.
With the gravity of what she can do, I don't care.
Make me care about her, you know?
Running across the multiverse just on a sneeze, I don't care.
Yeah.
I really don't care.
Yeah. All right. Any final thoughts, Ethan, before we end?
I mean, there's so many details that would keep us here all night, but obviously can't share them all.
Give us one.
Or
You get
explain
one.
them all.
You can get one big one if you get
one big detail.
I don't even know what to say. I mean, I don't know what to pick, so I'm just not going to.
What? How do you recommend someone like us, people like us, to approach the Marvel universe going forward?
I don't even know. I mean, like for instance, you hadn't seen WandaVision, but you could have just looked up a simple synopsis of it before you walked in the movie. Like that would take 5-10 minutes to read.
But I watched it and I still didn't understand everything. There were just things I missed because I got bored in the show. There's gonna be a ton of other people like that.
That's you.
But there's also a ton of other people like me.
Ethan makes a good point. I think my enjoyment would have been enhanced a little bit had I known the events of WandaVision. So I mean,
it wouldn't have jumped your score up to a 10, but it still would have made you understand it a little bit more.
Sure. And I guess I don't know. Not everyone has the time for that research though. So that's my other point with
It's not research. I just told you it take 10 minutes to read a synopsis.
I guess.
Versus watching the 4.5 hours that the show is.
Yeah. I don't know. There's a lot of good stuff out there. Even the Star Wars stuff, the Mandalorian stuff on Disney Plus is great. So
yeah,
follow that. All right. Any last thoughts from anyone else in the room? All right, that's it. That's our podcast.
Goodbye.